Sean Diddy Combs isn't the only one in the family facing some serious accusations, and while the rapper has been criminally charged and arrested, his sons have been named in recent lawsuits. But could those allegations lead to more charges for the Combs family?
Diddy's sons are reportedly in a tough spot due to their father's actions. Rumor has it they're thinking about speaking out to protect themselves. Interestingly, Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, had already predicted that his sons might eventually turn against him. Recently, King Combs, one of Diddy's sons, released a diss track taking shots at several people, including 50 Cent and even his own dad.
But what you think about the diss record that King Combs came out with, where he was coming at 50 and coming at everybody, coming at his dad? Like, how you feel about that record?
Well, first, I want to say to this young man, before somebody take his head off, because see, that's that new school bull crap that these kids out here, they easy to fly out their mouth with that. You don't invite a man to your private. You don't invite a man to your private unless you doing the Diddy. If two men lay down, how many homos get up? Let me tell you, young man, 2 of them. You understand? So don't invite a man to your private, because that man will see you and take your head off. You don't send or let a boy do a man's job. I don't know if he need that type of attention or he want that type of attention. Evidently he do. But 50 is the wrong dude that you want to do that type of attention, get that kind of attention from, bro. And the infamous words of Waka Flocka, that go hard in the paint. And I don't believe that this cat would even put out some trash like that and really didn't know what he was doing. He's teasing the federal government. And I told y'all, the Southern District of New York do not play. So King Kong just put another battery in their back. And you see after he did that, something get leaked to the press. Do you notice that, right? As soon as he did that dumb talking about, well, we did this and we did that. We had this over here. Y'all went to the wrong house. Some went to, he said, well, we're going to show you how wrong we are. Yo, CNN, run this. Action, roll them. Don't play with the feds, bro. Because you got to realize this. They got a lot of time. All they got is time.
Gene started by warning King Combs, emphasizing that going after someone like 50 Cent could have serious consequences.
People feel like he played a part in that video coming out. You know, him making a comment saying that, you know, they forgot to raid the house next door that his dad owned. Yeah, man, he was wilding out, man.
Yeah, I think he was just bullshit. I don't believe he bought the house next door. Because let me just tell you something. If anything or any name that had to do with Bad Boy, the federal government going to run that. They know all the properties Diddy have. They wasn't even talking about the raid that they did in New York. But they did a raid in New York too.
Yeah, I ain't hear about that raid. I only heard about the, you know, the LA and Miami raid. But you feel like the feds, they released that video over King Combs' comments.
Oh man, I've worked in law enforcement for 27 years. And I had the opportunity to see HIDA. It's a place, whereas they have the state, the feds, the NYPD, the Department of Corrections, and the state police. Yo, this place could be half of a basketball court. That's where they just got lines of computers with officers of all different people and officers just on the internet. whoever's over that case, whoever's working that case, don't you know they saw that and took it to their boss? You might think it's petty, but it's not. You do not agitate a lion with a pork chop. And that's what that kid did, bro.
Gene cautioned King Combs, saying that taking on someone with 50-cent stature is a bold and risky move. He described it as a dangerous game for the younger generation, one that could backfire. Gene also suggested that King's recent behavior might be tied to media leaks, including rumors about a federal raid that supposedly overlooked a property linked to Diddy.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Damian Williams, and I'm the U.S. Attorney here in the Southern District of New York. Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
Showing Diddy allegedly assaulting Cassie, igniting a firestorm of controversy. After Diddy's appearance in Manhattan's federal court, his oldest son, Christian King Combs, arrived with a group of 7 men. They went to the 5th floor arraignment room and requested copies of Diddy's indictment. The indictment, unsealed on September 17 at 10 a.m., accuses Diddy of 3 serious charges: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking involving force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation for prostitution.
Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers.
Sitting quietly in an orange chair, King Combs and his group carefully read through the 14-page indictment detailing the serious charges against his father. The others in the room also examined their copies in silence. The document accuses Diddy of coercing women into participating in events called freak-offs, which he allegedly organized, directed, took part in, and sometimes even recorded. The indictment claims that Diddy used these recordings as a tool for manipulation, threatening to ruin the careers and lives of the women involved if they didn't comply. Prosecutors allege that these events involved sex workers, with Diddy providing victims with controlled substances to exert control over them. Following these encounters, both Diddy and the victims are said to have received IV treatments to recover from the physical and substance-related effects.
It's not really surprising that a lot of people have been speaking out since the arrest and indictment of Sean Diddy Combs on federal sex racketeering charges. But now, that includes the woman behind a lawsuit against his son, Christian Combs. So Sean Combs was indicted in federal court last week. He's going to be going up against the formidable prosecutors of the Southern District of New York. And until then, he's locked up at what's called the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. And this is a jail which has housed other celebrity inmates at times. It's been plagued with issues like unsanitary conditions, fights between inmates. There's a status conference for his case scheduled for October 10th. But as Combs now faces these criminal charges, there is a separate legal team that is dealing with the multiple civil lawsuits that are pending against him. And one of those complaints was filed by a woman named Grace O'Markey. So O'Markey was apparently a steward working aboard a yacht that was rented by Sean Combs in December of 2022 for a holiday celebration with his family, when she claims she was sexually assaulted by Christian Combs. And within weeks of Sean Combs' homes being raided back in March by federal agents, O'Markey filed a civil complaint against Christian and named his father, Sean Combs, in the suit as well for allegedly facilitating this assault to occur.
A defendant in the criminal case, it certainly does add to context. And so now I could see now on the defense side them wanting to do something akin to a bill of particulars, where they want to get more information from how actually the prosecution intends to prove this case, because they've left it so open that pretty much any of those bad acts could.
And so you're kind of laying the groundwork for how possibly Grace O'Markey could testify in a federal case, but there's a lot of things that need to happen before that. So I want to talk a little bit more about this. So we have Christian King Combs, 26-year-old model rapper, third oldest son of Sean Combs, who's one of three children that Combs shares with the late model Kim Porter. She died in 2018. And we go back to the raids that happened in Los Angeles and Miami back in March. Combs' sons, specifically in LA, Christian and Justin, they were handcuffed and they were led out of the home as investigators from Homeland Security went in to collect the evidence. 30-year-old Justin is Combs' oldest biological son, who he had with a fashion designer named Nisa Hilton. And Justin's mother shared a video from the Los Angeles raid on her Instagram page, and the footage, which appears to come from security cameras around the home, has been edited and sped up in places. And she writes, quote, "The overzealous and overtly militarized force used against my sons Justin and Christian is deplorable. If these were the sons of a non-black celebrity, they would not have been handled with the same aggression." Christian, by the way, celebrated his birthday 1 week after the raids, posting photos of his lavish celebrations on his Instagram story. And he also posted this to his story: "Stop with the blue cap emoji." Cap is slang for lying. And then on April 4th, Grace O'Markey filed her civil lawsuit.
Federal authorities revealed that in March, they seized items from Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles, including narcotics and over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant, which were reportedly used for the freak-offs. This follows a separate legal case from April, where both King and Diddy were named in a sexual assault lawsuit filed by Grace Mark in Los Angeles Superior Court. The details of that case are equally concerning.
His arrest on Monday night on federal sex trafficking and other charges, to all of which he's pleaded not guilty. There's no VIP section, there is no concierge, only conmen, killers, and kingpins. MDC is so bad, federal judges have questioned the harsh conditions for those here awaiting trial. So bad, I was here 2 years ago during a cold spell, reporting on detainees with no heat, pounding on windows for help. There was even a congressional inquiry. But take the word of a former inmate I spoke with who goes by Esco.
It's terrible. The food is terrible. Of course, the inmates are terrible. The guards are terrible. The conditions are terrible. It's just terrible.
The inmates that you're surrounded around, just in general, a lot of them are brought up on pretty heavy federal indictments, right? So just in terms of the atmosphere there, it's just certainly one that no one wants to be in.
Combs was placed in a special housing unit and on watch, the standard protocol for high-profile celebrity detainees. The disgraced mogul was denied bail by 2 separate judges. His attorney, Mark Agnifilo, asked the court to transfer him to the federal detention section at the Essex County Jail, but the judge deferred to the Bureau of Prisons. The isolation may be the worst part for Combs. It's being done for his protection in the violence-prone facility. He will have no bunkie.
He's probably not going to have any contact with any other inmates. So for him, it's going to be a little different than for a person like me, where I will go through process and intake, and then they'll assign me a cell, and I'll have a bunkie or a cellmate, and I'll be in population.
For him to be able to get out at this point, it just doesn't look good.
If Diddy's sons are indeed turning against him, it's likely he'll remain in jail, facing a challenging and much-needed change in his life.
In the prison system, in order for him to get on watch, he just can't say, "I'm gonna commit suicide." You know, that helps. but he has to go through he has to have a psych evaluation. He has to, the correction officer, they had to monitor him and see what he has, we've been doing. Has he been crying all night? Those are some of the criterias. Saying that you're gonna commit suicide, crying all night, doing some kind of self-mutilation, or trying to harm yourself, because everybody think because you were on suicide watch, you're in a good situation. Once they put you in suicide watch, bruh, you gotta go to a cell, like a padded cell, by yourself with very little or no clothes on. You understand what I'm saying? So that suicide watch, when I heard it didn't. I wasn't surprised. Somebody who lived in mansions, travel all over the world, somebody who could go into any hotel, have any and everything at his beck and call. Now he's in a room that's a 10 by 10, if that, a cell. Bruh, if he was going to commit suicide and he was on the outside doing those city college days, just imagine what he's gonna do or try to do while he's in prison and he don't have his cell phone, he don't have no maids. You understand? He better hope that they want to make a deal, but I don't think so, or they want somebody else. He better hope, and he got something to offer them. Even if he got something to offer him, you gotta realize, bro, like, you got kingpins, you got dealers, you got people who make deals, there's murders and killers. They make a deal and they still get 25, 30 years in the feds. He's about 55 years old. If he do 15 years, that's 70 years. When he come out, he's 70 years old. He may not want to live like that. And then what he coming out to at 70 years old? He'll still have probably a little money to do something, but not to do nothing. So that's what he's looking at, bro.
Reports indicate that Diddy is now under observation due to concerns about his mental health. People magazine cited a source saying the rapper is being closely monitored as a precaution against potential self-harm while he awaits trial. Gene Deal believes that Diddy might try to protect himself by offering up a major celebrity to authorities. He fears that without such a move, Diddy could resort to taking his own life in prison.
You're going to hear about my party, they're going to be shutting them down, they're going to probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. Whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizon, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. It ain't nothing but break it down racial barriers, break it down generation barriers. People from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z, Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on and on. It's just like people from all walks of life connecting and getting together. Yeah.
Your parties are the hottest ticket in town. People dying to get into your party. How does that make you feel?
I mean, it's cool. It doesn't make me feel any way special. It doesn't make me feel like a bigger person. It just makes me feel like I know how to throw.
A 1999 interview with Diddy has resurfaced, where he made a chilling prediction about his future. In the Entertainment Tonight interview, he was asked about his famous white party invitations.
Wouldn't it be better if there weren't beautiful men there? There were just a lot of beautiful women and then just the guy?
No. You have to make. There's enough ladies to go around. You have to make them. The ladies, give the ladies what they need too. You have to take care of your women.
Take care of the ladies. Okay,
ladies, yeah.
Gotcha. That's good.
Can't force a situation.
Right. What about?
Can't force a square peg into a round hole.
That's the story of my life, my friend.
Okay, you need that.
I wish you had told me that a long time ago.
Well, I'm here now, brother. It's not too late.
What about like celebrities? You have a lot of celebrities
at your. First you have to listen. I'm giving you the menu. Okay. Let's just take things slow. Okay. It's all right. He's learning. He's learning,
and I'm slow.
Yes.
I'm very slow.
Check it out. This is my man. We go way back, but he hasn't told y'all that. We'll talk about that later.
We go way back.
Way back. But check this out.
When was that, by the way? We'll get to that later. All right.
Okay. Now, we need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right. Just different
Plurals.
blend. You need the
Blends.
ladies. You need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants?
No. No, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you doing?
A 2002 interview with Diddy has also resurfaced, where he shared the key ingredients for throwing an unforgettable party. Interview. Another person who could potentially turn on Diddy is Justin Bieber, especially if Jaguar Wright's claims prove accurate. She also suggests that Usher might get entangled in the situation due to his role in mentoring Justin.
We need Usher. No, we do. We need a victim to come out and be honest about him, because what I'm realizing is that he's gonna fake the funk until the man. He's just gonna keep on sucking the devil's. And I don't know, like with a baby, that pacifier, sometimes you gotta pull it out. You know what I'm saying? And take it away, right? When the baby's used to sucking on the pacifier, that motherfucker gonna keep sucking on that shit until you do what? Till you take it out the mouth. Now it's gonna scream and holler, but eventually it will get used to the fact that his mouth is no longer full with that object. And that it's time to just, learn how to live without it. He been sucking on Diddy's dick a long time. It's time for him to learn how to make this thing happen without the devil's dick in his mouth or ass.
You don't think if he sued, he'll just Lil Woody the situation, and I don't recall? I don't recall.
No, because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile in your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there. Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours.
Jaguar Wright has made serious accusations against Sean Diddy Combs, alleging that he sold a controversial freak-off party video for a staggering $500 million on the dark web. Interview. Despite the gravity of these accusations, celebrities like Justin Bieber, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, and Drake have not been directly linked to these events. However, it is claimed that the tapes now in possession of prosecutors may include footage of these celebrities.